What's good, 99 Dream family? We back at it, episode 83 of the 99 Dream Journey. My name is Julian Taliaferro, and you already know we coming again with another weekly business update, lessons of the week, and topic for the day, which is Habits 2.0. So for this episode, like usual, we're starting with the quote of this week, and it goes, "The smallest of implementations is always worth more than the grandest of intentions." This is another quote from Robin S. Sharma. And breaking down this quote, it just shows we need action. Action is the basis, action is everything. Even if it's not to the full extent, we need to at least take that one step forward. And that's so much more than just having a thought in our mind, so much more than just dreaming, so much more than just thinking about something. We need to put some sort of action to it. And the smallest of implementations is better than anything. So again, the quote goes, "The smallest of implementations is always worth more than the grandest of intentions," from Robin S. Sharma. So for the business update, I want to talk about two things. One would be how we're trying to finish up our prototype, but then secondly would be us getting a better idea of the legal side. And I want to talk about these two things because specifically what we've been wanting to make sure we do is focusing on goals or on actions that are going to lead us towards our goals, right? How do we take action towards our goals? So one of those would be finishing up our prototype. And we're building our prototype on Bubble, which is a no-code app development platform. So in my mind, what our prototype is going to be used for is going to be able to see the key features that we're going to want to have on our platform, in addition to the process flow or how we would want somebody to flow through the application. And once we finish this prototype, we can hand it over to a developer along with other references, design references, and he'll be able to make it full and complete, because as of now, the prototype from our side is definitely not a polished product. It's definitely rugged and it's not too pretty, but definitely something that's going to be able to show the key features of what we want on the application. So that's one side of it. The second side is the legal, and we're trying to dive into that. We know that we're going to need to have contracts, agreements, terms of service, privacy policies in place with drivers, but then also the small businesses that we're partnering with. So we need to start thinking about that. What do we want these contracts or agreements to include for us to be in the best position? So those are two things I want to talk about for this episode. And that's all I have for this business update. And now I can get into my lessons of the week. And I have two of them for this episode. The first one is just that a clear head is the basis for everything. You need a clear head. You need to be able to think clearly, think straight. Whenever you have a fuzzy mind, you're not able to think clearly. You're not able to do anything. You can't make the right decisions. So I just think it's important to always try to be in the best mindset you can. If you realize that you're not thinking clearly, try to get to a place where you can't think clearly. You put yourself in that position, right? Do whatever you need to clear your head. My second lesson is just to try to put out your creativity in some form or in some medium. I think it's important for us to always express ourselves, and we can express ourselves through so many ways, but try to find one that suits you. And once you do that, you're able to see your personality, your style on a piece of paper, and you're able to craft your expression. So I just think it's something that is really important, being able to express ourselves. And if you can do it through different mediums, then it just allows you to communicate better. That's how I kind of feel, what I'm thinking. So those are my two lessons for the week. First one is just that a clear head is the basis for everything. You need to be able to think clear, and then try to put out your creativity in some form or in some medium. So with those two lessons out the way, I can now get into my topic, which is Habits 2.0. And this is a topic. I'm currently reading a book right now called The 5 a.m. Club, written by Robin S. Sharma. That's where I'm getting a lot of these quotes from. which are really good. But the book is about waking up at 5 a.m. and how do you install that habit. But overall, it gives the process of installing a habit in and of itself. So there's a couple frameworks in the book that I wanted to talk through because I felt they were pretty helpful and I think they're important. So the first one is the 3-step success formula. This is 3 steps. First one is better awareness. The second one is better choices. The third is better results. And they all lead to one another. So on a day-to-day basis, if you're focusing on having better awareness of how you're feeling, how you're interacting with people, the productivity you're pushing out, just being aware of your environment, your whole situation, that's going to lead you to making better choices, right? Better choices are going to be choices that lead you to a better result, right? And a better end place. So just thinking that 3-step formula, I think is helpful. Starts with awareness, leads to choices, and then it goes to results. The second framework in the book that was pretty cool is called the 4 focuses of history makers. The first one would be capitalization, IQ. The second would be freedom from distraction. The third would be personal mastery practice. And then the fourth is day stacking. So capitalization, IQ, is really just trying to capitalize on your potential. In the book, they're saying that a lot of the great individuals of the past and of our time now is not that they're born better or they're inherently better. It's just the fact that they've really pushed their selves to really achieve their full potential. The second one is freedom from distraction. And this is a tough one for me because I know I'm always distracted now. And just the day and age we live in with all of our devices, it's kind of hard to unplug. So if we make that a priority, able to rid ourselves from distraction, then we can focus on ourselves, focus on our work or whatever goals that we're aspiring to accomplish. The third is personal mastery practice. And this is about spending time with yourself to become a better person. And he breaks that down to even 4 smaller categories, which are heart set, health set, soul set, and mindset. And all 4 of these are the amalgam of what can make you a better person. And you need to exemplify or try to be the best you can be in all these 4 areas. And then the last one is day stacking. And this is pretty simple, just stacking one day on top of the other, repetition, continuously pushing, continuously focusing on that habit you're trying to install or whatever it is. So that's the second framework. The third framework is called the lifetime habit arc. And this is cool because I learned something new in this framework. And it starts with having a trigger. So for example, if you're trying to wake up at 5 a.m., the trigger would be having that alarm set, having that alarm go off at 5 a.m. The second would be the ritual. So this is what you do right after you wake up, whether that's getting that cup of coffee and then going to read a book, or getting that cup of coffee and then going to start working out, whatever that ritual is. And then the third, which was new to me, was a reward. So rewarding yourself sometime throughout the day for being able to abide by your habit, being able to wake up at 5 a.m. So that may be like me being able to eat a piece of candy during lunch or having some dessert at lunch because I woke up at 5 a.m., putting a reward factor into it so it's more enticing per se. And then the last part is just repetition, right? So doing that over and over again to the trigger, the ritual, the reward, repeat. The trigger, the ritual, to the reward, and then you repeat again. So that's the third framework. The fourth framework is called the habit installation protocol. And this is a protocol that lasts 66 days and breaks down into 3 stages. And each stage is 22 days. So the first one is destruction. Second one is installation. And then third is integration. And it's basically saying that you need 66 days to fully install a habit. So those first 22 days are going to be absolutely horrible. That's why they call it destruction. You're basically destroying whatever neural pathways you have, or you're destroying your past beliefs, your past habits, and you're breaking it all down. The second phase, installation, is almost just as worse, if not worse, than the first stage. And this is installation, because now you're trying to build up the new foundation of the habit you want to have. And then the last one is integration. And this is when it finally becomes somewhat easier to do the habit, and it's finally integrated into your life and it becomes normal. And what I also liked about what he said on this last framework was that once you get through these 3 stages and you use your mental capacity to install this new habit, once it's locked in after the integration stage, you don't need any more mental capacity to do this habit. It's locked in and it's set in stone. So now you can use your mental capacity to then go over and start a new habit. And that's what he was saying in the book, is that a lot of these top performers, is not that they're just really disciplined. They are disciplined, of course, but it's the fact that they install one habit, get it set in stone, and then they go into another, set that one in stone, and then you just add on habits on habits on habits to a point where it just becomes a normal part of their lives. And it doesn't take any effort to live the life that they live. So that's probably a really long topic for me, but I hope going through these frameworks and just thinking about them will be helpful, because I know reading the book has been helpful for me. And now it's about putting action to it, right? And not just thinking about it. So for me, that'd be actually waking up at 5 a.m. But the book has been pretty good so far. And that's it. All I have for next steps are just continue work on the startup. And that's it for this episode. So, all right, let's get it, y'all. Going to achieve y'all 99 dream. And it's 99 dream because you are going to achieve your dream. And it will be 100%. But nothing is perfect. So you're going to achieve 99% of that. And let's go and let's get it.